back of the hole.
His first hole could have her number 2 days in a row.
Oh yeah, it didn't stick. Okay.
Jeeno Thitikul chopping it up with Rose Zhang and Lily Abu.
Yeah.
Wouldn't have thought those three would have been a combined 15 over in the first round.
When you just look at the...
Thitikul, 2 wins worldwide this year. One came on the Ladies European Tour. The Saudi International also won the Mizuho Americas on the LPGA Tour. For her career, 5 LPGA Tour wins, 5 Ladies European Tour wins, so 10 total worldwide between those 2 tours. The putter, the problem, day one, with 34 putts.
And how just head-scratching it was, too, because she leads the tour in putts per green in regulation. And she just had really off.
Thitikul in flight at the first. Hold. Stays on the back edge.
If you race those, just watch out for this weekend.
That was Vu just a moment ago. She's inside 10 feet left. If you are Thitikul, you've been playing well recently. Sluggish start yesterday. Is your goal setting get back to even, or how do you approach today when you're just getting started? This for birdie.
Yeah, Jeeno, when you listen to her talk about, wanting to win, and she has a ton of just patience about her young 22 years that she knows or hopes to have a long career out here and wants to win a major. The fact that she is the most talented player, arguably the most talented player on the LPGA Tour without a major victory. And so it kicked down that hill, but it did find part of the green.
Let's take a look at Thitikul. Divot flying in the air. 3/4 follow through. Pretty. That'll get a smile. Anytime you got a birdie putt inside 10 feet at Erin Hills, I think.
It felt like there's coming out, she was going to dominate, but that's just so hard to do. And guess what? She goes out and wins her first event as a professional. It was just so impressive that she kept raising the bar higher and higher. And then we kind of got to expect that from Rose Zhang, and has cooled off just a little bit. I mean, still has those 2 wins. But the pace that she was going at, I thought she was going to win about everything.
Thitikul to match her birdie for birdie. You bet.
Talk about drafting off of each other in the right direction.
There we go.
Some good group mojo there.
They're each 1 under on the round.
2 thumbs up. We made birdies, yay. The edge of the bunker and the front of the green. Very uphill second shot.
That was brought to you by American Express. Thitikul with the honor.
And they moved the tee box up in round 2 on this 3rd hole, so it plays a little bit easier to blast it over the bunkers, but also means it's a little bit. The Mizuho Americas just really hasn't gotten a chance to get a lot of tournament golf in this year, or see things going her way in tournament golf, and was kind of getting a round going today, getting a good weekend in. So many positive vibes, and then for the rest of the year.
So it's gonna feel like
really good look at it coming up.
.74 in, Thitikul. Come on down.
This is the Jeeno Thitikul that we are more accustomed to seeing on the LPGA Tour. Yesterday was just a kind of a rare miscue on iron shots and putting.
Unable to do so. Crucial par putt for Thitikul, right outside that cut line by 1 currently. Might end up at +2. This is keep it at +2. Wow. Seemed like that was just gonna creep in and didn't carry enough speed. Thitikul. You can sense she's just trying to get the right feels dialed in. Coming off a bogey last hole and bogeyed this hole yesterday. And that'll do a little bounce by of Rozang's tee shot. Thitikul moving some earth, one-handed finish. And that ends up in the bunker. At least on the upslope. Poor swing though by Thitikul. The #2 player in the world. On a perch. Back one to the 4th. Thitikul facing a par putt of her own. On the way will also be a bogey. With how good she has looked this season, definitely one of the surprises this week with her play thus far at +4. Amelia and Amanda thinking that cut will move to 2 over. Stay on this 5th tee, Thitikul. Up the left side, and it skirts the bunkers. Got a lot of run.
Fuddle them a little bit, and that was the miss.
Over at the 5th. Nice tee shot, 283 for Thitikul. Posing on her 2nd.
Yeah, left herself a
Out. Showers are hitting the area. Thitikul, her 2nd shot. Back to the par 3. Chases by 6-7 feet. With how fast a start she's had to the year, I always wonder how a player is going to handle the newfound spotlight when you jump all the way to #2 in the world golf rankings. Expectations rise, media obligations, your visibility in the game also. Sometimes you get there before the career resume has fully reached that point where you don't quite have the stature of a major.
get one tournament going the right direction. And at least when I was playing, we just didn't have the luxury. There was like 8 domestic events. The schedule was not strong like it is now. So you're forced to play through it. But then you have players like Lexi Thompson, who was notorious even years ago before stepping away from a full-time schedule. She would take a mental break. She would take a month off. She did it in 2018, missing some really big events because she just didn't feel herself, didn't feel yardage book. She lets her caddy, Adam Woodward, kind of take over there and do a practice round and just get a good feel for the golf course.
Thitikul, top 50 in driving distance this season. At 269, her average off the tee.
Damn.
Doesn't have a weak part of her game, and also just very mentally strong.
Thitikul had that online.
And what makes Jeeno dangerous is the fact that she's both a great ball striker and also an excellent putter. We haven't seen that so much here at the Women's U.S. Open, but she leads the tour in putts per green in regulation and is always just right around the top in ball striking, 14th in greens in regulation so far this year. But last year, the tour in greens in regulation along with putts in green in regulation.
Thitikul on the 7th. Rolling this for birdie.
A little short.
It was the middle point of her first round when she caught fire. Ripped off 3 consecutive birdies at one point. That was the highlight from day one, but stumbled to the finish. Part of that 3 over 75. Swing it to the 8th fairway. Thitikul.
And just shows you the difference of finding the fairway here. Then Lydia's that only missed by maybe a yard. Jeeno was able to go right at the flag and now has a look at birdie.
Thitikul a birdie putt. Back on the 8th. Thitikul aiming this out to the right. She's expecting a swinger from right to left.
Oh, how did that not fall in? That looked absolutely perfect. Maybe just a little too much speed, but really good stroke.
She's had a couple lip outs on the front side.
A few more birdies out there. So maybe the cut line won't move. It'd be interesting.
Cut line at +1, 66 players. It's top 60 in ties that make the cut at the U.S. Women's Open. Thitikul remains at 4 over. Early birdie on 2, bogeys at 3 and 4, 4 straight pars. Jeeno Thitikul.
And there's that little, oh no, the slope, it just catches it down that tier.
It gives you that false sense of hope at the start. It like hangs for a second, slowly starts to go. And then, as you mentioned,
Very rhythmic swings. Almost feel like they swing out of their toes. Excellent around the greens.
Thitikul, better pace. That was on the 9th. Yeah, Lydia's driving numbers. Three feet for Thitikul. One over 37 on the front side. She'll need her best 9 of the week to make the cut.
point that had eluded her for a while. Has a lot of fun now. Goes out on the town, kind of explores. She said that she really enjoys. She didn't do that at the early stages of her career. Feels a little bit more relaxed.
Thitikul from the fairway. Nice look from behind to what she's facing. 157 yards up to the 10th green. Location. Tucked on that right-hand side. 13 on, 8 off the right. And back on the green. Thitikul also from the fairway.
135 yards. Roseng stopped pretty quickly, so shouldn't be a ton of jump, and that one also nestles down.
Second shot's on the way at the 12th. Thitikul. That was pretty.
That was absolutely gorgeous. Talk about just stopping right on the spot. And Jeeno, being one of the favorites coming into the Women's U.S. Open, I've been really impressed with her attitude. She's had some smiles out there. Hasn't seemed too upset that she had her struggles and stretches. Kind of playing her game. Hitting shots like that coming in.
So she's got one spot with some good memories at Erin Hills.
You gotta have something, right? Something positive.
I've tried to sell some upside. As we're at 6 o'clock Eastern, 5 o'clock local time, heart of happy hour on a Friday at the U.S. Women's Open. These are all must-makes for Thitikul at this stage of the proceedings.
9.5 feet left. See how far left she is, aiming back up the hill. Must make indeed, and that she does.
Pours it in the center. Her second birdie. First one in 10 holes. So a couple bogeys, couple birdies, even par today through 12.
Between holes when she'd be walking or waiting would come up with dinner recipes. She was a really big cook, and that was like her kind of way to separate, would be try to think of what she was going to make for dinner, what food might go together, just to kind of get her mind off the golf course.
Thitikul first up on 13.
Oh, this is an elevated tee box, so going downhill about 5 yards. A little bit of runoff. It gets it to stop.
On the day. Thitikul back right on 13. It's from 44 feet. Still got about 3.5 feet left for par.
Yeah, it couldn't be too aggressive.
Stay on 13, Thitikul. afford any lapse in concentration these final 6 holes. Biggest source of pride it'll be for the world number 2 to fight back and make the cut. That's a par 13. Has to go 2 under her final 5. There are 2 par 5s at 14 and 18.
Baller.
It's the defensive Aaron Hills. Thitikul out of the rough. They take a hop forward and get rejected by the false front. Thitikul. Front left, better lie, better angle. Inside the ball of Zhang, where you see her marker to right.
This would be a really nice up and down for par save for Jeeno. Oh, and just creeps in on that right edge.
Three-wood for Thitikul. In the fairway, has to go 2 under the last 4 holes. Thitikul. 6-foot birdie putt.
Oh, so important. Start off the left side, get it to break in. Oh, and it was deceptively straight.
That didn't move a lick.
Oh, that was just such a good opportunity for her to get a little bit closer to that cut line for a beautiful iron shot.
Thitikul. Marshall seems to like it. He's saying it's straight on.
Ooh, almost in.
That's a golf shot.
Her as a player who would take some time off. Take some time off and go put in some hard work. Reset for the rest of the season.
Must make for Thitikul. Burns another edge. Seemed like it was a club short for Lydia Ko. Thitikul. Disappointing par on the 16th.
A couple disappointing pars in a row with just some really good opportunity.
Showing some fight. Jeeno Thitikul. She's got to go birdie birdie.
Jeeno and Yuka very similar in the fact that they turned it on the back nine and really had far more opportunities for birdies than they have been able to talk about. See some more deliberation.
Thitikul's got to get one in there close.
163 yards. Slightly uphill.
Hops onto the green.
Yeah, really just stopped.
Here's Thitikul.
Just under 31 feet for birdie. Just not have enough pace. It's really hard for players to get themselves to really hit it hard enough up the hill, knowing that there could be a 5-6 foot putt straight downhill coming back if they blast it by too much.
Putt. Thitikul to tap in for par. So just like Yuka Sasso, the group ahead, it would take an eagle on the 18th to make the cut.